Hey everybody, welcome to Geekoholics Anonymous, episode 109. I'm your host Rico, here with my co-host.
What's up? It's Dane in the house.
Dane in the fizz house. What?
I don't know. I'm in a house.
I'm in a basement of a house.
109. You know, lots of numbers getting big.
That is a big number. That's over 2 years of podcasts, Dane.
Exactly.
Are we famous yet?
In my mind, obviously.
Hey everybody, welcome. If you've never been here before, we get together once a week, talk about video games, TV, movies, and or whatever the hell we like. Usually start with some what you've been playing, get into the news and stuff, our public service announcements, free for all, and questions. We have a few this week. But of course, before we get to any of that, we start with our designated drinking section because, like I've said before, you can't be a geekaholic without being an alcoholic.
Oh, yeah.
Dane.
What's up?
What are you drinking?
Tequila! Makes her clothes come off. I'm drinking a mix of tequila and clearly Canadian.
Oh, is there a name for that?
I don't believe so.
I think I've heard a name for that drink before.
I don't know, man. Clearly Canadian has not been on the market in Canada, or anywhere for that matter, for about 20 years. And it just came back. And I was drinking one, and I thought to myself, man, I bet tequila would go really good with this. So I added the two together.
Tequila goes good with anything.
I like tequila a lot. I need to buy more tequila. I have an awful lot of whiskey and scotch, but...
What's the really fucking trendy douchebag tequila to drink?
Patron?
Yeah, that stuff's good.
That's the one I'm drinking.
That stuff's pretty good.
There's a lot better, but it
oh yeah, there's of course.
For like
there's always better.
For like a... I mean, we get it out of the US where it's quite cheap, actually. And that being said, it's delicious.
Yeah, I had it at someone's wedding. And I'm like, man, it's
pretty smooth.
Yeah, that stuff's dangerous.
Yeah.
That stuff's a little notch above the Cuervo.
Oh, yeah. Big notch. I'm not a huge fan of the Cuervo myself, but yeah. So that's what I'm drinking. Rick?
Nice.
What are you about to disappoint me with? I mean...
I'm not going to disappoint.
Oh, come on now.
Nah, I'm drinking gin and juice.
Oh, look at you trying to be a gangster.
Trying.
Ha ha.
Man, there's some stories.
In your
I gotta
mind,
I gotta be careful what I say on this podcast.
Yeah?
Yeah, or else
once it's on the internet, bro.
Used against me in the court of law.
Exactly. Once it's on the internet.
Yeah, I'm just doing
never get it back.
Frick, why am I having a brain fart? The Bombay and Wildberry.
Oh, very nice.
I gotta come up with a name for it.
Gin and juice?
No, like a name. Custom name.
Oh, because the Rico.
Because no one mixes it with Wildberry.
It's the wild Rico.
They wouldn't even know what you were talking about at the bar. If you said, can I get some gin and Wildberry? They'd be like, what? The fuck is wrong with you? We have pineapple juice. And what other? Orange juice. And regular juice, you fucking idiot. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Because it's freaking good and I like it.
Good for you.
Yeah. So, with that, this is my last day before I go back to work.
That sucker.
I've been off for a month. If you guys have been listening to the show, I've been on paternal leave for a month. And that month has flown by, Jesus Christ. But
I imagine it has.
Man, this last week, I was cramming so many projects in. I know last
trying
week,
to get all that stuff done that you thought you'd have time to do.
Oh yeah,
a month off,
I'm gonna do all the stuff on my list. I've got a month. I did like maybe I might have done half of it. I don't know if you follow me on Twitter at RickF, no K, RICF. You may have noticed
Quality plug.
You may have noticed photos that I posted, or a photo I posted of one of my projects. And I talked about it. I probably talked about it months ago when I got the Chromecasts on clearance.
Right.
And was building like a multi-zone setup in my house, which I never really got around to because I was trying to source cheap amplifiers.
Yeah, I remember. We talked about this. You had a whole thing where you wanted to essentially do like a Sonos style deal, but you didn't want to spend the gajillion dollars on the Sonos.
I just started it. I never finished it, but now I finished it. So I started on it yesterday. Actually, I started on the weekend because I found some cheap amps thanks to a coworker who pointed them out to me on eBay.
Nice.
But I ended up finding them on Amazon as well. Because what I did was, and I might have told this story a little bit months ago. I bought one amp and set up one zone to experiment with it.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, I bought more amps because the one amp worked. They're nothing special. They're cheap ass. They're 100-watt peak. So they're like 20 RMS a side, which isn't terrible. Little compact amplifier hooked up to a Chromecast audio in my smart panel in my basement, wired to speakers that I pre-wired in my home like I did when we moved in here. Well, I don't know. For those of you who don't know, I built a home years ago now. I put in I put in speakers in a bunch of the rooms.
Right.
But at the time, the solutions for like a multi-room setup are super expensive. You've got like Control 4 and you've got like multi-channel amplifiers. All these solutions are thousands of dollars, like $4,000, $5,000, $6,000. They're not cheap. The speakers were not too expensive. I put in decent in-wall speakers. So, they're like 150, maybe almost $200 a room for the speakers, which is not terrible. It's not, you could spend way more and you can spend way less, but they're good. Decent, right? Problem is I had an amplifier already, one of my old surround amps that I was using. And basically it was all or nothing. It was music in all 6 of the rooms or nothing. It was only one source. I could control it from my phone because I was using an Airport Express, but it was pretty clunky. And like I said, it was on in every room. So so if I was listening to music in the kitchen, if I was listening to music in the kitchen, it was blasting in the dining room, the office, the bathroom, the bedroom, the patio. And it's like, I don't need that. But, so
Plus it was probably driving your wife crazy.
So I disconnected a bunch of the rooms that we didn't use because that amplifier was only a 2-zone amplifier. So essentially I could have 2 rooms going, but I had to go downstairs, turn it on because I didn't want to leave it on all the time because it was a full-size amplifier. Sorry, I'll try not to keep this story too long, but it's been a big project. And some of you people might actually be interested in this because it's pretty cool. So dial it back. Big amp, no good. Other solutions, too expensive. Found a cheap amp. They're $20 plus or minus on eBay or Amazon. They're fine. They're not winning any awards. This isn't. You can buy better amps. I could have spent $100 or $200 and still been ahead of the game compared to the other solutions and Sonos. But these amps sound great. They sound perfect.
That's awesome.
For listening to podcasts and music, they're totally good enough. So what I've done is I bought like a bunch of amps, a bunch of Chromecasts, and I got them all wired up. I did my panel, and now I can go on my cell phone, and this is Android, iOS, whatever. It basically just boils down to what app you're using and whether it allows casting, and you can just cast the audio. So I'm in the bathroom listening to podcasts. I can go from the bathroom to the office, pick up where I left off. I can go to the kitchen, continue. I don't want to listen to, I can listen to music. And I can go from room to room. It doesn't
follow you around the house. You have to manually change it,
you just click the button. Yeah. No system follows you around. You have to click regardless.
Oh, but they do.
Oh,
they do.
Yeah, I guess.
You gotta pay the money.
Maybe some of the really expensive ones. I don't know. But so it works awesome. And you do the volume from your phone just using the physical buttons as if you were turning your phone up and down. I'm adjusting the volume of the audio in the room. Finally got it all built and done. I started it on the weekend. It was a lot of work, a lot of wires, a lot of tying down. I had to fish walls. I had to move stuff because the way I did it before didn't gel with. Now I have it all contained in a panel. You can't see it. It was a disaster before. And it works.
Right.
It's perfect.
Sweet, man.
Yeah,
well,
it's really cool.
And you're happy with the results. That's even better.
Yeah, and it's super high tech. Like, it's like, oh, you want music? Bloop, bloop. A couple taps on my phone, and we're listening to anything from my entire MP3 collection or whatever. I can live stream or do, what the hell is it? Spotify or any of those other apps as well.
Google Play Music.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool. That's what I did.
Sweet.
And I redid all my freaking Cat 5 wiring too since I was in there. I'm like, that looks like embarrassing. I'll fix that too. Oh, and I'll install this in anticipation of getting fiber in a month or two. I cleaned up a bunch of my distribution. Just something on my dirty laundry list of stuff to do.
Oh, okay.
So, anyway, that's what I did. But I played some games too.
Lucky you.
Yeah. So I guess with that derailment of a story, I don't know, that I posted on Facebook too, and actually a lot of people were asking questions. So maybe if they listen to the show, that'll hopefully give them some more info.
Very cool, man.
Yeah, I guess we can move into what you've been playing. I played ARMS.
How was that?
The global Testpunch. I think ARMS is freaking cool. I am going to buy it day one.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. It's quite the glowing preview?
Yeah. So I don't know if it's because I'm just really good at it that I really liked it. Or if
what you're saying is you're wrecking shop.
I was the best in our lobby. I was dominating. It took me a couple rounds to get a grasp of the controls. Mind you, I played it with a pro controller. I didn't do it the stupid motion control bullshit. I didn't want to deal with that crap.
Interesting.
I might try.
Some people really like the motion controls.
I've heard.
They say that's kind of how you have to play it.
I've heard good things about it. I've heard that it's not bad, but
because I've heard that that's the only way that you can change direction with each individual arm when you throw them.
Mm-hmm.
Is via motion control.
Yeah.
When you don't use the motion control, then you end up with. You can change direction, but they both follow.
Let's rewind a bit so that what you're talking about makes sense. For those of you who don't know, ARMS is a new fighting game from Nintendo for the Switch. It is a very unique fighting game. It's 3-dimensional, and it's a little bit of rock'em sock'em robot fighting, except for your characters have extendable arms. So basically imagine giant spring arms that launch out like Inspector Gadget style. You know, when he
Gadget arms.
When he shoots his arms out. That's exactly what it is.
Okay.
But it's a little more than just punching left and right straight forward like Dane was talking about. You can control where your fists fly as your arm extends. So you can hook to the left while you're moving right. Meanwhile, you're punching to the left, or you can be moving left and punch to the right. And you control like your hands almost like little heat-seeking missiles in the air. And like Dane was mentioning, there's two ways of playing this game. One with a regular controller, or the way they advertise this game is playing with a Joy-Con in each hand. And actually using the motion controls, you can physically move and control each arm individually, which obviously gives you a little more flexibility. And I guess that's...
You can reach out and touch two fools at the same time.
I guess I didn't really notice that being a problem when I was playing, that I didn't even really notice that I couldn't control them each in different directions. So I'll have to double check that, but I'm sure you probably can get more precision doing it separately. But anyway, the Testpunch is their server beta test. The Nintendo's weird. They do it at random time. Well, they're not random. You got to look it up on their site. It was like 5 a.m., 11 a.m., 5 p.m. It was like separate times of the day and only for an hour. So not like your typical beta where it's all weekend. It was like hour chunks. So I got into 2 of the sessions.
Yeah, see, I downloaded it, but I had such a busy weekend and I was out of the house for almost all of it. Like I had a work go away on Friday night.
Yeah,
I think you talked about most of Saturday. Week. Yeah, and then we do like an annual work camping trip.
Yeah, and you guys went up to Whistler. I saw your photos. That looked cool.
Yeah, we thought we'd go for a quick drive up to Squamish, and then we saw how much traffic there was coming back from Whistler, and we were like, well, forget that noise. We'll just drive to Whistler and have dinner and a pint and
keep
then
going.
Drive home. And yeah, so that ended up being my Sunday, so I didn't get back till quite late.
Yeah, so it would have been done because I think 5 p.m. was the last one.
Yeah, so like I said, it was funny. I came in and I was like, oh, sweet. Oh, I got to download that and play it. And then I downloaded it. I'm like, okay, I'll be ready. And then I totally was busy, so I never got a chance to play.
Good for you. It's on again this weekend.
Yeah, which is going to be bad because I'm
busy again.
I'm racing on Saturday. So maybe I'll catch it on Sunday, hopefully. We'll see.
It'll be on Sunday as well.
Okay, cool.
Maybe you can catch one of those 5 a.m. sessions. I think it's the same time, so I'll have to look that up. So they had one mode in, and what was it called? Party mode or lounge? I can't freaking remember. Anyway, you basically jump in. I think it throws you into a lobby of 8 people.
Okay.
And I don't think all the characters were available. It looked like, what was it? About 6 or 8 characters were available. And once you choose a character, it would throw you into this 8-player lobby, and it would cycle through a few game modes. So,
okay,
it would put you. I don't know if there was randomness to it, or if it was the first time you played, maybe it just threw you into a 1-on-1 match. But there were several matches. There was 1-on-1. There was 2v2. There was 4-player free for all.
Interesting. Is that everybody for themselves?
Yeah,
just 4 people?
Everybody for themselves.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
What else was there? And there was a volleyball mode. So that was 1-on-1, 2v2, and free for all, and volleyball mode. I think that's all there was. Yeah, I think that's it. So it would just cycle through and pitch you into these different modes. And actually, I think there was even I don't know if it did 2-on-1 or if it was just 3-player free for all as well. Maybe someone dropped because I swear there was a match where there was only 3 of us. So yeah, you the way it works is you jump in the match. There wasn't multiple rounds. It's just like you've got one. No, was there multiple rounds?
No, I don't know. I think you played it.
I think you only have 1 life bar. I'm so confused. Yeah, you only had 1 life bar. And like most fighting games, after you took a certain amount of damage, you'd get like a super that you could pull off. Attack.
Interesting.
Which was, I think they were tied to the type of arms you could have. Each character could use different arms. I don't know how this works for if you unlock different ones when the single player or when the actual game is available.
You do, actually. I've heard from other people that were at other events that apparently as you play the game, you unlock arms and other various upgrades, and you can add to your characters and make them stronger. Some of them have bonuses. So there's a bit more.
So I don't know how they figured it out in the Testpunch, because there was for each character they had 3 different hands or arms you could choose from. And you can mix and match. You could have 1 type of arm on your left hand and 1 on your right. The character I was having a lot of success with was Min Min. She's a little Asian girl, and it looks like she basically pilots a mech.
Nice.
And I was having good luck with the heat-seeking arms. Well, they weren't really heat-seeking, but they were rockets. They might have had some heat-seeking to them a little bit. And that
they would kind of veer towards.
They kind of helped, opponent? Going towards the opponent. There was normal ones that were just big fists. There was ones that shot out little missiles, like in little bursts. There was like big slammer ones, kind of like a big wrecking ball, an actual whack-a-mole kind of hammer arm, which didn't have a lot of range but had huge power. So if you got close, so there's a lot of strategy, I guess, with mixing up the different arms. You can dive or like dodge left and right.
Oh, okay.
And then you can also jump. And I don't know if it was unique to Min Min, but she could like float jump. She had little rockets in her back. So I don't know if it was just unique to her, but she could like rocket jump and like float up in the air. And I don't know if this applied to all characters because there's no tutorial. When you land, it seemed like if you launched an attack after landing, I noticed that her fist would be all charged up. So I don't know if that was just a combo from hovering in the air, landing, and then attacking, or if that was just actually part of the gameplay fighting for all characters. Because I just stuck with her the entire time.
Right. Oh, okay. You didn't try any other ones?
I tried one of the other characters, but like that was for my first 2 matches, and I got my ass kicked, and I really didn't know what was going on. And then, so once I started playing with her and I was doing really well, I'm like, oh, I'm going to stick with her because this is fun. This is fun screwing people up. So, yeah, I'd get in there. No one seemed to jump. So I would hover jump and then come down and punch the guy's little like left-right combo. If you actually threw...
So you're a bunny hopping motherfucker.
If you threw both your arms, you would do a throw. And then you would grab the enemy, and then you do like a little mini combo. But it also, if you threw both your arms, is very easy for the other player to just punch, and that would break your throw, and then you'd be open for like a counter. So a lot of people, a lot of people were really bad at just trying. Like there was this one guy I got on the corner, and all he was trying to do was both fists every time. So I'd punch. I just kept shutting him down, and then I would jump in the air, and then I'd grab him, beat him up, shut him down on a throw, do it again, and I just wrecked him, destroyed him. I think I got a perfect on him.
Oh wow!
So some people really didn't know I don't know how the system worked, but a lot of people also were not very good at dodging either. Little health drops would show up in the arena once in a while, so you could recharge your health. There'd be like random bombs that would fall into the arena, and you could like manipulate the bomb towards your enemy, and they would blow up, get some bonus damage. I had a lot of fun. I thought it was a cool game. I think like I had fun playing online against randoms. I imagine I even have more of a blast playing with people locally, like over multiplayer. I could see this being a really fun game for that.
Interesting.
The different modes were cool. There are more modes that they're going to introduce this weekend. The volleyball was kind of fun. I was really good at the volleyball. I fucked people up in that a lot. A lot of 5-0 wins in that. They're like,
wow, okay.
Yeah, I don't know if the volleyball was like just quick distraction, like while it was like waiting for other fights to finish to match you up with your next opponent.
I believe that's the case, actually. I believe, if I remember correctly, listening to somebody else talk about it, they were saying that after, I can't remember what the situation is necessarily, but you're totally right. You end up playing volleyball, kind of like how Overwatch throws you into
the practice map or area
like the
before
free for all when you're waiting if he takes too long.
So the volleyball was fun. This weekend, it looks like they've got some kind of target smash mode. And I think there's another mode coming this weekend as well. But I had fun. I was totally surprised. From the onset, looking at this game, I thought it was going to be really stupid. I'm like, oh, this game looks ridiculous. But like spending a couple solid hours with it, I'm like, this is pretty fun. And it's like really easy to get into. There's no hard combos. So it's almost like just, I don't know, just seem more like paper, rock, scissors skill, like very simple. But obviously there's some strategy with, using your supers and setting people up and controlling the environment. The stages were quite different. Some of them were just your square box arenas. One of them was, like you fought on the stairwell to like a big, Japanese like dojo temple type thing, which really changed it up a little bit because, someone's got the high ground in that obviously all the time.
Right.
There was another arena where there was a bunch of towers, and you could actually destroy the towers, but they also gave you like some cover to set up some, I'm going to hide over here and then duck out and attack them after they, miss or wreck the tower or whatever, right?
Right.
So
Okay.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to play it again this weekend.
Sweet.
Yeah. So if anyone has a Switch,
I'll
definitely.
I'll definitely have to try and get in on that this time around and see if I can, play a few rounds.
Yeah, you should. I think you should. I played some Fire Emblem some more. I
still liking that.
Yeah, I'm liking that game more. There is some relationship stuff with the characters on the battlefield. There is.
Oh, okay.
There is none of the having kids stuff though.
I'm fine with that.
I figured out how you can change your character's classes by praying. I might have talked about that last week at these shrines. Equipping weapons. You get weapons that like kind of level up and unlock skills, which is pretty neat. So it changes up what your characters can do by giving them certain items. Like, I don't know if they're random weapon drops or how those are done, because I got a really good sword and my main character, he just wrecks shop. Like, he's kicking everyone's ass. I almost feel like he's way too overpowered. So I don't know if that was just a random lucky weapon drop or what. But whatever. I like being OP in RPGs. Strategy, turn-based RPGs. That's part of the fun, being super powerful.
Wow. Okay. Sweet.
Yeah.
So you're liking it more and more as time goes on.
Yeah.
That says something right there.
It's a good Fire Emblem. I'm pretty happy with it.
Wow.
I wish it was on Switch. I guess we'll actually, who knows? Probably at E3 they'll have to show something for that, because that's next year. Then again, this one, I swear they just revealed this one in January, and it's like, here it is in May. There you go.
Yeah, no,
Then again, it's not as big as a Switch Fire Emblem would be, but
well, and not only that, but this one has essentially already been made, right?
Yeah, that's true.
They were sort of repurposing it for.
I played some PUBG. 11th place.
Wow.
Yeah.
Getting down there.
Yep. So
getting down there.
I did so good they gave me 2 1s. I'm gonna get the chicken dinner.
Yeah, that's your goal.
Yeah, I had a good run. That was a good run. Except for I just got screwed because the circle was closing. I guess when you get down that low, it really closes much quicker. And it
also hurts a lot more too.
I wasn't anticipating it, so I ditched my motorcycle and I ditched it in the middle of the road, which was bad.
Oh.
So I heard some gunfire and I'm like, there's some assholes near me, but where are they? I couldn't see them anywhere. And of course, like, hey, I gotta go. Like, the electric wall is like cutting in on the house that I'm in. So it's like this, like an electric energy wall closing in. You can see it. It's not invisible. I'm like, okay, I gotta go. So I'm going to my bike, picking my bike up off the ground, and it's a pretty clunky animation. And I just hear this, I just hear brah, 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 and I'm basically just pretty much got shot in the back. Some
that
asshole.
Sucks.
Yeah. So choked.
Well,
but
you gotta keep playing and get that chicken dinner.
Yeah, it was fun. That game's fun, cool. Of course,
that's cool.
Persona 5 been playing like crazy. I think I'm in the second to last dungeon, and I was noticing my game time is like over 120 hours.
Whoa!
I know, I'm pretty impressed with myself. Don't tell my wife. I don't know where that time comes from.
Have you left it hanging out in the game at all? Because I have heard that if you idle in the game, it totally counts.
Couple times, but not. I wouldn't say more than a couple hours max. My PS4 turns off or goes to sleep mode, I think, in 2 hours or maybe an hour. So if I have, it's added very minimal amount of time.
Right. So maybe 2 hours out of that is idle time.
Yeah, he's maybe 4 or 5, but still.
Fair enough. That's still well over 100 hours.
Yeah. That game's still good. I'm kind of like, okay, I just want it to be over now.
No, really? You're at that point where you're still enjoying it, but you're kind of...
I've seen everything it has to
wanting
offer.
to come to the end.
Yeah, the story's pretty interesting. I want to know, the big reveal. So,
okay.
It's whenever I sit down, I want to just play it, but at the same
Right.
time, like, oh man, I kind of want to play Neo. I want to go back to Nier.
Yeah.
So I know when this one's done, it's definitely going to open up a lot of time for me. Clearly. And
yeah,
I wrote down
very clearly.
I wrote down Tekken 7 on the list here.
Okay.
I did not buy Tekken 7. I think it comes out on Friday.
Okay.
I don't know if it's out already. I think it's Friday. I feel like it's Friday.
It's soon.
If it's not already out.
I mean, technically it's been out for 2 years in arcades, but sure.
It's been...
Tell me something I didn't know about Tekken 7.
I just wanted to mention it. It's been reviewing really well. And I love Tekken. We used to play tons of it here at the house. Tekken 6, the boys, when we'd be playing Smash Brothers, Tekken, or Dead or Alive, and or Street Fighter, and or Mortal Kombat, Injustice. Like, we would play them a lot physically here at my house. So Tekken 7 is like, oh, I'm so tempted to get it, but it's the same thing with Injustice. They're both awesome games, and I know I want them, but I have no one to play with them right now locally. Just everyone, where me and my buddies' lives for getting together right now
is difficult.
It's just it's been rough lately. So I'm going to pick up Tekken 7, but I'm going to wait, just like with Injustice, when it's going to be like $40 in a couple weeks. Well, or a month or whatever. And then I won't feel bad that I'm not playing it all the time. Especially when it's $80, right?
Yeah, it's not cheap right now. That's for sure. I think my big issue is I would really like, I think Injustice, especially I played the first one and it was great.
Yeah, Injustice is awesome, the first one, but
I definitely don't really have anybody to play with locally. Like my wife's not.
Sure, you can play online.
Be into that at all.
You can play
against. I'm gonna get wrecked online. It's not going to be fun because let's be honest, there's too many people out there with no lives and they just play way too many fucking video games.
You're
and
going
then
to play
they go online
against some dick who just spams the same move over and over, has some cheap combo, and it's just going to get infuriating.
And I know for a fact that is actually a thing for a few of those characters. So that's. Yeah, and I don't want to have that bad taste in my mouth.
No. So, and the Ultimate Edition is going to be like, it's going to be cheap.
Yeah, exactly. And so I'm going to hold off on both of those, which is actually a shame because I have heard super good things about both of them, actually. And to be fair, I got super into Tekken, but that would have been back Tekken 2?
Probably Tekken Tag Tournament 2 or whatever.
Tekken 2 and Tekken 3 this would have been for PS2. Probably would have been when I was really into Tekken. And I love those games. They were great. But that was, again, like you said, it was kind of a different time where I had a lot more time where me and my friends were hanging out, sitting around a TV, and we would throw Tekken on and beat the pulp out of each other. It was such a different thing, whereas now, like you said, to have people come over is a pain just because our schedules are so crazy, and then I don't want to just hate myself playing online. So
yeah, I just thought I'd bring it up because I love Tekken, and we may not have talked about it or really been hyped about it lately, but I love Tekken.
To be honest, I kind of forgot that it was coming out until
I knew it was coming, but for some reason I thought it was later, but fuck, we're pretty much in June already, so yeah. I was thinking it was like July, August. I want it, but I'm going to wait on it. So
yeah,
those are my thoughts.
And I still have way too many things that are on back play.
Yeah.
And I got more crap than you do on back at this point, just because you've finished some of the stuff that I've still got on my friggin' back burner on the go. So
yeah, Zelda and Horizon.
Exactly.
Those games are fantastic.
And yet, every time I sit down in front of my computer to play something, I'm still freaking playing Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I haven't played a whole lot of anything. As I explained on the weekend, I was too busy, but I did manage to fit in some Heroes of the Storm this last week.
Oh,
1 year.
That's easy.
Yeah, and their 1 year anniversary event is or their second anniversary event, actually, sorry, is currently going on. So you can go and get yourself some free shit when you go and play some matches.
With that being said, I guess we just get into the news. That's it for what you've been playing. So why don't you talk about that? So that's part of our news.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even realize it. I jumped ahead.
That's okay. We're done. So let's get into the news, and we'll start with this.
Yeah, so starting, yesterday and going till June 12th, you can get second anniversary stuff. So essentially, if you play one game a day, you get a common loot chest.
Oh, boy.
So you get one per day during this time. So it's not a rare or anything like that, but it's a common. And if you play 3 games during this period, you'll get an anniversary portrait, an anniversary spray, and an anniversary banner. So some free stuff, man. Play some heroes, get some free stuff.
The common chest could essentially have good shit in it, right?
Yep. There's always a chance of getting a character or getting a skin or something interesting.
One game versus AI, man, you can do that in like less than 10 minutes.
Yeah,
most people are pretty savage versus AI.
Yeah,
I think I've even had as quick as a 6-minute match.
Yeah, depending on the map that you get, I've had a few where they were quite short, and I was like, wow, that was great. I can even fit a second one in before I have to go to work or whatever. So those are happening right now, which is pretty cool. There you go. It's and I don't know if I got to double check on that, but if you haven't got your 20 characters, you may have waited too long. But I that might still be going on for the Heroes of the Storm 2.0 launch.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
I don't know how long that was going for. So either way, the game's a lot of fun. You play it, you get in-game currency, which you can then use to purchase characters and stuff as well. So, if you missed out on the 20 characters for free, you can still play the game and get free stuff for free.
Yeah.
You could totally buy it as well if there was somebody that you really wanted that you weren't getting fast enough. But yeah, that's kind of the only thing that I've really been had a chance to get into. It's been...
I've been meaning to play more of that. I'm just really bad. There's too many freaking games. So
exactly.
Continuing our chat from last week, we had the Far Cry 5 teaser image and teaser trailers. Obviously, after we recorded, they released the actual trailer plus a couple character trailers for some of the Resistance characters in the game. And a release date. So Far Cry 5 is coming February 27th, 2018. And they give you a lot more details on what's going on about Hope County, vehicles, ATVs, boats, muscle cars, rigs. This trailer basically just teases all the shit that's in this game. There's someone getting chased down by a bear, clearly indicating the hunting aspects. As expected, they have gone off with the righteous religious militia type group taking over. It looks like this town.
Yeah, it's like some sort of kind of almost like a religious cult, a militia.
Yeah, militia.
It's
cult.
like
They've got
religious militia cult. They've
got their symbol plastered on churches and vehicles with mounted guns. They show fishing. What else do they show?
I like the one where they've got the.
Yeah, they definitely show hunting in the trailer. It's a pretty cool trailer. We get a couple snippets of some of the Resistance characters, and basically it looks like the people who are in this town, either willingly or unwillingly, are forced into this group controlled by some crazy pastor. What's his name? I swear it was in here somewhere. I can't find it. I lost it. But yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah, it looks super neat. I'm curious to see how they're going to differentiate this from the previous games, but this is definitely already more interesting than I felt.
The last one.
Part of it, I think, too, is, well, especially the last one. The last one was barely a blip on my radar personally. It just didn't really interest me at all. I don't know. But even 3 and 4, like, I think that they were too close together, maybe. Because they were, I believe, a year apart.
Yeah, I think that
we're very close to that.
Maybe the landscapes made them feel more similar than they actually were. But yeah, time frame wise, I think they came out a lot sooner or closer together.
And yeah, I think that while great games, I just think that they were a little bit too close together and too similar for me to really, which is funny because I own both of them and I actually haven't even played the second one. I need to finish the third one. Ugh. So many things on my back catalog. So many.
Yeah, check out the trailer. We've got a story on the site, shared it on Twitter and our Facebook. I think it looks cool. I'm excited to shoot crazy hillbillies, because why not? And of course, there's already been petitions and people are butthurt about the content of Far Cry 5. So
people need to remember that it's a fucking video game.
Go figure. The Society of the Professionally freaking upset and freaking wronged.
Yeah, whatever.
Like you said, it's a video game. On the Ubisoft train,
choo choo.
Someone snapped the photo of a character. What's his name? Is it Bayek? Is that it?
Yeah, as far as I can tell, it's Bayek.
Yeah, Egyptian hieroglyphics. He's got a bow and a shield. Basically looks like the character from that leaked screenshot we saw a couple of weeks ago. And actually,
Bayek, I think.
I even saw a video, like a leaked handycam video.
Really?
And I think it's been taken down now of someone. I don't know if it was like running through their E3 demo. And it was basically like a fly-in, and it's like Egypt, Assassin's Creed, and it's like, oh yeah, whoops. So yeah, I think the cat's out of the bag on this one. It definitely looks like the rumors are pretty true that it's going to be in Egypt. He looks cool.
Yeah, he does. I'm curious what kind of mechanics, because they were going closer to. They were getting closer and closer to nowadays, and this is going back quite a bit before, and I'm kind of curious what they're going to do with traversal and other various things that they had sort of made work quite well in a couple of the last ones where you could...
imagine it'll have everything minus the guns.
Yeah, you're probably right.
But I don't remember what time frame or era it said of Egypt. It being in Egypt, it could still be at a point in time in Egypt where, there were guns.
Oh yeah, no, that's true. Judging from the photos and what I've seen so far, I feel that it's...
The guns were pretty crappy. I've heard a couple of the Assassin's Creed, so...
Yeah, I've also heard someone mentioning that they'd heard a tagline about going back to the beginning or something like that with this, so...
Made the founding of the Assassins. That would be cool. I would like them to almost
something along those lines.
I would like them to almost hit a reset button on the story, because I have not cared for a long time. Because they really... It was going somewhere, and then they just dropped it and didn't carry on with it, and it's just like, okay, I don't care anymore. This gameplay is good. I'm here for the gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
But the first couple games, I was in it for the story, the whole Animus, Desmond, the Templars, seeing that like he was key to get, this information from him. Seeing that was going somewhere good. And then they just lost it, and it just didn't pay off. And then they just totally ditched it. It's like, oh,
yeah,
lame.
It's very interesting. I totally forgot to sort of add this in here, but speaking about all this Assassin's Creed stuff reminded me, I actually watched Assassin's Creed like a week ago. It would have been actually before last week's podcast, and I totally forgot to mention it.
I think you wrote it down and maybe forgot to talk about it. No.
Yeah, maybe. Because that was a huge part of the movie, was the Animus and the history and all of that. And I'm not gonna lie, I actually thought they did a really good job with the movie.
The movie wasn't bad at all.
I felt that the very beginning was a little bit confusing, and that was even for somebody who knows a bunch about sort of that lore. So I could see, like, if I would have had my wife watching it with me, she probably would have been like, what is going on? Why is this a thing? But I just watched it by myself, so that wasn't really a problem. But I did feel like the very beginning, maybe the first, I don't know, half an hour or so, it just felt like they were kind of going in one direction, and then they decided to change gears partway through production, and they went sort of in a different direction, which is fine. Like, I think that it worked out, and I think that it came together well, and it worked out fine in this particular case. But outside of that, I thought that the main character did a great job. I thought that the story was well put together, besides that initial front loading bit. I thought that they did I thought it was one of the better video game movies. I really did. It's actually kind of sad that I think that it got so, well, I guess it didn't do terrible, but I don't also know how much it cost them to make, so I don't know if it made its money back or not. Because they definitely set it up that it could end, but they did really set it up for more sequels. And I thought that they did a good job of sort of building a bit of that base and explaining a bit of what was going on and why it was important and what they were looking for and why they were going into the Animus and all that kind of stuff. I thought they did a good job of that.
Yeah, I like the movie. I talked about it when I saw it a few weeks ago. It wasn't terrible. Like, they pulled stuff out of I think they did pretty good fan service, especially with some of the fighting and combos. Like I said, I'm like, I've done that in the game. That's freaking cool.
Totally.
Stuff like that.
And the running and the free running and stuff was great, especially when they were obviously in the Animus and stuff. That was super well done. I really enjoyed a lot of that. It was super cool. I think that movie got panned a little harder than it should have, I think.
Yeah.
Full disclosure, because that's the kind of open podcast we are. It was given to me via the Fox Screen Room. So I was able to watch that for free, provided by Fox. So
what's that?
It's a website that I can go to, and I can watch screeners provided from them for obviously review and or
cool. I didn't even know that existed.
Purposes.
Was that something you signed up for recently?
I had I'm trying to remember, I had a media contact reach out and ask me if it would be something that I would be interested in, and I said, yeah, for sure.
Oh, that's freaking cool.
Yeah. To be fair, it's I haven't figured out, I think there may be an app, but it was on my computer, because it's all happens in the web browser and stuff. So it was, and the other thing is that when you do watch, it does have a watermark the entire time, property of Fox, as well as it also has a watermark of the account who is watching it.
Oh.
Thus, if you were to leak it, it would have both of the information of that it was a screener and that you leaked it.
That's kind of cool, though. I think that's really neat.
Yeah, no, it was, like I said, it was super cool.
Yeah, look at you, Mr.
Very appreciative.
Look at you, Mr. Movie Reviewer, you.
So it's pretty cool. It was, I appreciate. So shout out to those guys.
I'll keep taking advantage of that.
Yeah, no, for sure. So that was cool. So that was kind of the first thing that I was able to take a look at, and
it's definitely an enjoyable
get
movie.
eyes on.
I hope they make another one, but it doesn't sound like that's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how much it cost them to make, and I think that ultimately is going to be the big thing. If it costs them a ton of money to make, then obviously they're not going to make another one. But if that movie made money and they feel like, hey, why not? That there was enough people that enjoyed it, I could see them making another one. Because I think, if I remember reading correctly, I thought Michael Fassbender had signed on for 3 or something like that.
Yeah, I can't remember. I'm sure you probably did. Know. That's how it works nowadays. You do 3 of everything, whether it's good or not. We're gonna make 3.
It's going to be a trilogy. Yep. We're going to write it as such, and then the first one's going to fail, and nobody's going to get to see the end of it.
We're going to break the story into 30 parts, because franchising.
Yeah.
Cool. So moving on from Assassins, Square Enix Studio Tokyo RPG Factory has announced their next title, Lost Sphere. It's a JRPG coming for PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch and PC in early 2018 for $50. I'm going to assume that's American.
It's the same guys that did I Am Setsuna, right?
Yeah, it's the same guys. They seem to be cranking out these like smaller RPGs. But
out of curiosity, did you play I Am Setsuna?
I did not. I think,
for anybody wondering what the hell I'm talking about, it was like a kind of a throwback to almost like 16-bit or even 32-bit JRPGs, where it was kind of that isometric view. You run around. I'm not sure if there was random encounters or not. Turn-based battle system. Like I said, very kind of reminiscent of a...
It was decently received, I think.
Yeah, it seemed like it got fairly good reviews.
People liked it. I think it might actually...
The only complaint that I really heard of it was people saying that it was almost too much of a harken back and not kind of enough new stuff.
That it was too old school with some of its conventions.
Yeah, and it didn't really go anywhere new, I think, was sort of the big thing. But overall, still a great RPG.
75 on Metacritic. I Am Setsuna, so definitely not bad. It just came, and it came out for Switch in March, for those who have missed.
Did it really?
Yep.
Oh man,
I thought that's where I saw it.
Seems like a perfect Switch game.
That's where I saw it last, was on the Switch eShop when I was looking at stuff. I'm like, oh, that's interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah, this game looks cool. It's top down, looks like old school Final Fantasy, 8 or 9, maybe little super deformed chibi characters. Cool art style. Looks pretty neat. They released a trailer. It's about a world that's basically disappearing, and your crew of guys is going out to try and figure out what's going on and restore the world back.
Interesting. That kind of almost has a little bit of a Dark Cloud-esqueness to it by the sounds of it. I don't know if you remember playing that or not.
The fighting looks almost like Secret of Mana. It looks like you can move your characters around during battle. And I'm going to assume they could probably do like multi-character attacks and stuff. A classic new school JRPG. It's cool. It looks neat. This looks more up my alley than that I Am Setsuna. Next year, I'm sure we'll get more. There's a trailer. You can find that on the Facebooks and the Twitter and our website, of course. Something we
Very nice.
missed last week. Actually, I'm jumping ahead here now.
Come on, man.
Square Enix is bringing Final Fantasy VII Remake development in-house.
I saw this.
Yeah, I didn't have time to write up a story, so I just linked up Kotaku's story here. But they had a third-party studio called CyberConnect working on it. I guess they started a year or two ago. But recently, Square Enix proper has taken over development, and it is in-house. There wasn't much more language than that as to what's happening. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Japanese-wise, probably...
I get the feeling that the things were not going the way that they wanted them to.
That's the easy story, but also at the same time, Square proper was busy working on Final Fantasy 15. So CyberConnect, they're capable, could have been laying the groundwork for them. Otherwise, they would have been just starting this game now and being a year and a half behind already. So they could have been just having them doing engine work or importing assets or doing like busy work.
I see what you're saying.
You know, like, because they didn't say anything from how I would think of it is like, okay, we made this announcement, but we haven't even released Final Fantasy 15 still. This is our big new thing that we're working on right now. We've got all hands on deck. So I think those guys were just getting the ball rolling on it with, menial development type tasks. I don't think this is necessarily a bad thing. Who knows? We may find out down the road. But
yeah, I'm curious. It's a very interesting thing. Like, I wonder if this has to do with the fact that they're getting rid of IO. They're trying to get some cash together. So this is a way that they can stop paying these guys and bring it back in-house. Yeah. Or if this has nothing to do with that. These are probably answers that or questions that I'll never get answers to, but,
Good, bad story, because I'm sure bringing it in-house only means good things.
Hopefully.
The only bad thing that I can really think of out of this is this game is nowhere near to being released.
Oh, no, it's so far away.
Which sucks. But, hey,
I mean, I think they'd said because they're releasing this in chunks, right?
Yeah, they're breaking it up so that we don't have to wait till 2030.
Right.
I'm being sarcastic, obviously, but
I still think that we're probably 2019, 2018 at the very least before we see part one of this.
Yeah, next year at the soonest. I'd assume.
Yeah.
They'll probably tease it. Well, I don't know. Did they? Because this was revealed 2 E3s ago now.
Yeah, that was the first. That was the big.
That was the Shenmue
game
3
release
Final Fantasy 7. Like, holy crap!
That was we are going to make all of your video game dreams come true.
If it's not at E3, it's freaking 2019.
Yeah, it's a ways
off. If it's at E3,
we know that.
If it makes an appearance at this year's E3, then it might be next year. But if it isn't, it's going to be farther off than that. We forgot to talk about this last week. I forgot to link it in the story, but Mario and Rabbids Kingdom battle artwork was leaked. I think there was some presentation doc as well. I didn't look at it. Apparently, it had a lot of bad English in it and really weird terms.
It was a weird document.
It was definitely, to me, it looked like a point form outline for a meeting. So that stuff meant something to a director or someone who was holding the meeting. So I feel like not really worth spending a lot of time going into that. But from the image, seems to be legit. Mario's got himself like a Mega Man arm cannon going on, Bullet Bill style. You got
such a weird thing.
You got a bunch of Rabbids dressed up as Peach, Luigi, Mario, and Yoshi, looking ridiculous, kind of Minion-esque. Peach and Luigi and Yoshi sporting cannons. Luigi's or Yoshi's just all hardcore blasting like a rocket launcher in the corner.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah.
It is the most un-Nintendo thing I think I've ever seen.
I remain optimistic. I like new things. I like Mario. I don't really have any feelings for the Rabbids. I don't care either way. I don't hate them. I don't love them. So,
if I remember correctly, there was something about this being an RPG in the...
Yeah.
Which is, to me, a bizarre thing.
I guess it's like going to be in that Paper Mario-esque type thing. I'm sure we will know more in a couple weeks at E3. It's pretty hilarious seeing Mario sporting a freaking gat, though.
Yeah, it's weird. Who knows, though? I mean, I don't know. Maybe this is what Mario needs. A little something different.
It might be cool. Did we talk about this, or did we not talk about this last week? The Twitch, or the Beam thing.
That just happened.
Okay. Yeah, that happened after, right? Yeah, we didn't talk about this. You wrote a story on this. So, Twitch rival Beam, which is Microsoft's streaming platform, is that right?
Yeah, well, what happened was Beam came out as a rival to Twitch a while ago, and it started to pick up steam. It wasn't doing crazy or anything. Microsoft came along, swooped it up for an undisclosed amount of money, and started building on it. Clearly, they saw that Twitch was a thing, and they wanted to get in on the streaming, and they thought that this was a good way to do it. They've started integrating Beam into Windows 10 and into the Xbox One. So you might have seen, I know one of the last updates to the Xbox One had Beam integration, or Beam app, I believe it was. So you could stream to Beam as well as Twitch and other things. In the creators update that Microsoft released earlier this spring, they also released Beam integration into their Xbox app. So while you're playing games on the PC, you could hit the stream button, and Beam was one of the things that you can stream to. So this last week, they announced that Beam is getting a name change. It will now be called Mixer. They felt that for whatever reason, that the Beam name, they were unable to grow and expand into every market around the world with that name, so they chose Mixer as their new name because it represents what they love about the service, aka how it brings people together like a giant mixer. So one of the really cool things that they're doing with Beam, or with Mixer, is the ability to interact with streamers in real time, or almost real time. So anybody that does like Twitch or is on Twitch knows that there's about a 12-second, actually I think there's a required 12-second.
Is it that long? I thought it was even longer.
Yeah. It's 12 or 15 seconds. I can't remember exactly. When you set up OBS, you have to put a delay in between you streaming to anyways. So there's quite a large delay. So you'll be playing things that are 12, and people are watching what you did 12 seconds ago, which of course can make it a little bit challenging if you're playing a game and you're going like, hey guys, what do you think I should do now? Because what they're seeing you do isn't going to happen yet. So of course that poses some unique challenges when you're interacting with your stream and people in the chat and things like that. So that's actually one of the big things with Mixer is they're dropping that down to, it is essentially live. We're talking like, I think less, they didn't specify, but it's very quick. There's not this 12 to 15 second delay. It's essentially live, and some games have actually started integrating this into them. I know they announced during this press conference for Mixer that the new Telltale games that are coming out actually have integration, so the chat can vote on decisions that you make in the game, and they're actually able to do that now because they're seeing what you're seeing and they can help you with that. So that's one of the really cool things that they're doing. And the other really cool thing that they're doing is they're allowing up to 4 different people spread across 4 different locations to combine their streams into one centralized stream, essentially.
Yeah,
so
that looks neat.
People connect to one user or one user stream, or it might even be if they connect to any of those 4 users, they just get dumped into a centralized location. And essentially it's like a windowed mode with all 4 players, and you can see what all of the players are doing. And this could be 1 player, 2 players, 3 players, or 4. So it doesn't have to just be 4 players. It can be 2 or 3 as well. And it allows them to combine these streams so that if you're playing, say, a multiplayer game, you're not just seeing one of the person that's on voice chat's video, you're seeing all of them, or at least up to 4 of them, which is super cool because, you know, you got to think, like, if you have a crew of people, you know, if you and 3 of your friends are playing Ghost Recon Wildlands, for example, and you're streaming, well, the chat's only seeing one person's perspective. So this is like a way that you could have all 4 of your teammates, and people can hear the voice chat, and it's just a way that they can get really a lot more into it, and they can actually be a lot more involved in it, which is super cool. So that's kind of one of the big selling features that they're doing. I haven't looked into how exactly that works. As far as I'm aware,
I think we're gonna have to sign up and experiment with this.
Yeah, I actually, if you have a Microsoft account, you're already signed up, which is kind of cool.
This might be a cool solution to get this show online.
I know. That's exactly what I was thinking when I saw it as well.
Do you know if it archives? Do you know much about it? Do you know if it archives the videos or anything?
I believe it does, but only for a limited amount of time. I don't believe that it archives it forever, like Twitch does.
Or exports to YouTube. I assume it would have to.
That I'm not sure. I haven't messed around too much with that end of it. So, during this press conference, they also announced that they are going to be releasing a mobile app, which is currently in beta on Android, and will be coming to iOS through an invite only. But it's going to be called Mixer Create, and it's going to allow people to stream not just their mobile games, but all kinds of experiences from their phone. So they'll be able to kick on their stream, and they'll be able to stream phone games. So if you wanted to stream, like, people playing Pokemon Go or
I play Pokemon
various other
Go.
things, you have an opportunity to do that. And obviously, like I said earlier, Beam was previously on the Xbox One. Mixer is now also going to be getting its own Xbox One page on the dashboard. So currently, I believe that's out for Xbox insiders, but that will be rolling out to everyone probably either I don't know about the next one, but in one of the very soon upcoming patches for the Xbox One. And then also part of this whole thing as well, Microsoft announced that they are going to be streaming their E3 press briefing in 4K Ultra HD through Mixer for those people who have the proper setup.
Oh, wow. So I could do that on my
it,
Xbox One.
There you go. And they can also watch it on Mixer. They're going to be giving away all kinds of goodies and digital bonuses for the people who are watching it on the Mixer platform. So,
well, I know what I'm doing Sunday, June, whatever the fudge it is.
So that's kind of exciting. I think that competition in these fields is important.
Oh, for sure. I'm not a huge fan of Twitch. Everyone's heard me bitch about Twitch before.
Yeah, I think that it has its faults. I think that it's done amazing things for getting, obviously, the streaming platform as a whole off the ground and getting people watching games. And I think that it's really legitimized that, and it's great. But I also think that it's cool to see a competitor come out, because let's be honest, YouTube gaming kind of died on the branch and withered away. I don't really think anybody is really using that as an actual live streaming service. So I think that this is kind of and I think with some of the things that they're doing, it it has the potential, at least for, like you were saying, like for us to, it might be a great solution for our show to go live and people to be involved in us recording a podcast if they want. Get a look at your ugly mug. So
yeah, be scarred for life.
Well, maybe on second thought, I don't want to lose that many followers.
Yeah, we're gonna check that out. It looks cool. I was just playing around on their website the whole time you were talking and not listening to you.
Oh, good job. I logged in last weekend a little bit and watched some streams and just kind of messed around a little bit. Like I said, if you have a Microsoft account, you can sign in and there you go. You have a Mixer account now. It goes along with your Xbox not credentials, but your Xbox gamer tag and all that kind of stuff gets pulled through the whole Microsoft stuff. So
I bookmarked it to look into it some more.
Yeah. So there you go.
Where are we at now? I clicked the wrong thing. Pyre is coming to PC and PS4 on July 25th. That's the new game from the creators of Bastion and Transistor. It looks like...
This is an interesting game.
We've seen it I think it's been at 2 PAXs now.
I remember
I've never
watching...
played it. It looks like a fantasy RPG basketball game. But apparently has like a campaign story mode. Definitely looks interesting. Bastion and Transistor are both really good games. Super giant, capable studio. Definitely doing something new here. There's a trailer for it. Check it out, and they've got an announced release date now, July 25th. So people who have played it have said pretty positive things about it. I have not played it myself, so I really have no clue. But
yeah, I'm hearing really good things. So
you posted a story here. Is this more for, do you want to talk about it, or do you want to talk, save it for questions, because that's an answer to a question.
We could I guess we could roll it into a question.
Yeah, we'll talk about
We'll roll it in our questions.
Okay, so we're going to move into PSAs. That's it for news. Ghost Recon Wildlands, new DLC is out now for season pass holders. What's it called? Fallen Ghost.
Yeah.
PC, PS4, Xbox One. Up the level. Yeah. Up the level cap. New set of missions. New character starting level 30. New skills. Oh boy. Yeah, a bunch of stuff.
Oh yeah, it's got a bunch of stuff in there, man.
6 weapons, 4 new bosses to remove. So we got a trailer. And that's out.
It looks pretty cool.
Oh, it's out now for season pass holders. It's June 6th for everyone else.
Yeah, so it'll be $15 US for everyone else if you aren't a season's pass holder.
Yeah, I'm still playing. I'm still playing that game. I'm still liking it. Every time I play that game, I tell my brother-in-law, I'm like, God damn it, Ubisoft, you should make a King of the Hill or Battle Royale using this engine. Do you want to just win at life? Turn this engine into your version of PUBG. It is such a superior engine. Like, PUBG is a fun game. Like, Battlegrounds is fun. It's in early access. It may get a lot better. But when you play, like, an open world game like Wildlands, which is so polished, I feel like you could, I think they could make a mod for the, this is like, cha-ching, like cash register. I think it would be brilliant. I don't know how you can't not do this. Someone has to be saying something to someone there. It is so set up for this. Tons of weapons, weapon customization, because there's weapon parts in PUBG. It's the same thing. There's vehicles, planes, parachutes, motorcycles, trucks. Oh my God.
There's a little bit of weirdness every once in a while in Ghost Recon. But I definitely understand. I haven't. I've seen some of the crazy jank in Battlegrounds in PUBG.
It's a cool game, but man, every time I play Wildlands, I'm like, why couldn't PUBG be using this engine and these assets? And then we'd have the perfect game.
Yeah.
I gotta touch someone at Ubisoft. Ubisoft. Boobisoft. Yeah.
Yeah.
Titanfall 2 DLC, Monarch's Reign, is out now as well. For those of you still playing or wanting to go back. New map, new Titan, which is pretty cool.
Man, I want to go back and play more of the multiplayer in that game.
That stuff's free. There is the purchasable skins and Titans aesthetics, which cost money. That's the only thing that costs money in this game, which is awesome because you get the new stuff. But if you want the cool, like the funny skins or the cool looking skins, that's the only thing that they've been charging for. So everyone gets the map and the new Titan. So that's out now. There's a trailer and more info on our site about that. PlayStation Plus games for June have been announced. Killing Floor 2.
They're okay.
Life is Strange. A lot of people like Life is Strange. I think that's like a 5.
I actually heard really good things about that game.
I think that's a 5-episode series. They've said they're going to be doing a season 2. It was really well received. You play as a teenage girl getting in touch with themselves. Nothing?
Isn't that the one where there's some time travel or time
I don't know if it was
reversal or something involved?
Or ghost powers or something. I don't know. People liked it.
Right.
Both these games look pretty decent. There's trailer and more information on the site. There's a couple other PS3 and Vita games, but both those systems are dead, so no point talking about that. No, just kidding. Abyss Odyssey on PS3. World Rally Championship 5?
Yeah, WRC 5.
Neon Chrome on PS Vita, which is cross-buy, and then Spy Chameleon, which is cross-buy as well. I feel like I've heard about Neon Chrome. I've never heard of Spy Chameleon. What is Neon?
Neither have I.
What is Neon Chrome?
What is
Neon Chrome?
Have you played any of the Killing Floor games?
Neon Chrome looks like Hotline Miami. It's a top-down dual-stick shooter. And there's a lot of neon and chrome. What was the question? Played Killing Floor?
Killing Floor.
No, but I was watching the video.
First-person co-op zombie shooter set in the immediate aftermath of the first Killing Floor game.
I was watching the video, and it looks like a shooter.
Huh.
But it's new. It just
Life
came,
is Strange.
Came out this year.
Max Caulfield, a photography senior who discovers she can rewind time. But there's a catch.
Someone dies.
Changing the past can greatly impact the future. See for yourself why this one racked up critical acclaim and numerous awards.
Yeah, so, okay. Some new games at least. Not recycled crap, so...
Hey, not going to complain about free games.
And then just a reminder to check out the ARMS Testpunch this weekend. I meant to look up the times that it's on. I think it's the same times as last week. They were weird.
Yeah.
Like 5 a.m., 11 p.m.
Right.
So here we go. I found it. So June 2nd, so on Friday. 5 p.m. Oh, so there's only one on June 2nd? 5 p.m. on Friday. And then on Saturday, we've got 5 a.m., 11 a.m., 5 p.m. again. And then on Sunday, 5 a.m. and 11 a.m.
Ooh. So I have I guess 2 opportunities to play if I want to get up at 5 a.m. on Sunday.
Yeah, so...
which is probably not going to happen.
Probably check it out Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 11 a.m. Those are probably the easiest. That's when I played it, was the 11 a.m. slots.
Yeah.
So they're adding a couple different modes, so... yeah, check it out. If you got a Switch, why not? And then it's like a demo, and you can see whether it's something you want to pick up. So,
Sounds
we can
like
get
a
into
plan.
our free-for-all section. I saw Pirates of the Caribbean. Dead man tell no tales.
What'd you think?
I liked it.
Yeah?
It is my second...
A Pirates game?
Pirates as pirate game. Yep. It's... I would rank it as my second favorite Pirates movie after the first one.
Really?
I wasn't a huge...
Some high praise.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of the second and third ones. I really didn't like those ones. I don't know what... They were fine, but they don't come close to the first one. And then the fourth one, I remember thinking the fourth one was okay, but everyone apparently hates it. So maybe I have to watch it again. But I don't know. A lot of people dislike the fourth one even less than the second and third. And I think the second and third I thought they were weak. That was the splitting the story. It was all, Will Turner and freaking his girlfriend and all that crap, and too many characters going too many directions. I just didn't like that. This movie was kind of trying to play back on a lot of the stuff in the first movie. There's a lot more Jack. The storyline was a little simpler.
It's not necessarily a bad thing.
No. Javier Bardem. Is that his name? That's his name, right?
I don't know.
He plays the villain. The guy from Skyfall. The Spanish guy.
Oh. Crap. I'm having a total mind blank right now.
Pretty sure that's his freaking name. He was pretty cool. He was a cool baddie. It was a neat story. I enjoyed the movie. I don't think it's as good as the first one. The first one was freaking awesome. But no, it's definitely a good movie. But I don't think it was bad. I don't know. People were
Fair enough.
posting online. It was some people I follow on Twitter oh, it was a fun movie. Johnny Depp phones it in. I'm just like, what? Okay. I don't know. He's a weird... Jack Sparrow's a weird character, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Speaking of Jack Sparrow, that reminds me. Johnny Depp reminds me of watching... actually, it's probably a little spoilery. I saw Fantastic Beasts.
Oh, the movie's so good.
I saw it in 4K. It's the first 4K movie I've watched.
Oh, cool.
I didn't watch it on my TV. I watched it on the wife's TV, the LG. Yeah. I got a new 4K box that I'm testing for my work.
Okay.
And man, in 4K, that movie is amazing. I was so impressed. I didn't think this TV looked this good because I've only been watching 1080p content on it. Right. I was very happy with this TV, but actually watching some 4K on it, this is the LG, can't remember, the 6150. It's like
not an OLED one, right?
No, it's just an LCD 1080 or 4K HDR. It's like $1,000 at Costco.
Oh, okay.
It's got the built-in WebOS bullshit, and all that smart TV shit.
Yeah.
It's a good
Pretty
TV.
Much like every TV does nowadays.
That movie looked fantastic. I was blown away. I'm like, holy crap, this looks cool. That was a fun movie, too. I really liked that movie. My wife didn't know it had anything to do with Harry Potter.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I told her, she's like, what is this movie? And I'm like, it's kind of like a different story in the Harry Potter universe, sort of a sequel.
Happens prequel, actually. It happens years before Harry Potter.
That's what I meant to say.
Significantly.
I meant to say prequel. And she's like, oh, Hogwarts and wizards and wands. And yeah, it's pretty neat.
Hell yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
I love that movie. I thought it was great.
That was a good flick. And I saw it in 4K, so... That was my first 4K movie experience, and you can tell a difference. Well, I can tell a difference. It's like the difference from when you went from DVD to HD.
Wow.
It's subtle. A lot of people, we've had this conversation on the show before, the good enough conversation.
Oh, yeah.
Where a lot of people can't tell the difference between DVD and 1080p. Or standard HD.
It also doesn't help that a lot of people had DVD players or TVs that were upscaling DVDs to 1080p as well, right?
But I could tell a difference. Like,
that's awesome.
0 to little compression, super, super sharp imagery. Like, the colors, edges, pop. Like, yeah, there's a difference. It's not such a dramatic. It's not a dramatic distance. Like, it's not a difference like when you look at HD and standard def, where like standard def looks like shit, and I don't want to ever watch standard def again, which is what everyone went through when they got their HD TVs.
For sure.
But there's a definite upgrade.
Yeah,
I will try to watch my movies in 4K from here on out. I was very disappointed because there's like a whole 4K movie section on my box on demand,
right?
And I'm like, oh, they got a couple good movies in here, and I'm like, they don't. I want to watch Logan again, but they don't have it in 4K.
Oh, yeah, I picked up Fantastic Beasts in 3D, so
yeah, it is a cool flick.
I like it a lot. We saw it in the theater.
The other thing I wanted to talk about, which is really only relevant for Canadian people and not relevant for a lot of people, Android Pay is available now in Canada.
'Tis.
I got my wallet because my bank supports it. Yeah,
I was just gonna say as long as your bank supports it. Mine does not.
I now have a bunch of my loyalty cards and credit cards on my phone.
Yeah, I like that they add the loyalty cards in there as well. I use another app to amalgamate my loyalty cards so I don't have to pack them around all the time.
I got my Air Miles card, my Best Buy card, my Scene card, my GameStop card. I haven't gone through all my cards. Of course, the only
flip side is that, for example, my Air Miles card, I use it when I get fuel all the time, so I still need to carry that one around with me. But
it's nice because when I go to soccer and stuff, I always have my wallet in my goddamn bag. And then I've been busted a couple times going to buy a drink at the gas station or something. And it's like, I gotta get my wallet out of the car. I'll be right back. I'm an asshole.
Yeah. That's happened to me before.
Obviously,
as well.
It just launched as of when we recorded this. So some banks aren't supported, and I imagine more cards and loyalty clubs and so forth will be added, and it'll only get better in time. But yay, finally, thank you. God damn it, Google taking your sweet ass freaking time.
We've talked about this a little bit on the show before.
Yeah.
At least I think on the show.
Yeah, we
before.
did, because I've been using my bank app to do this.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was gonna say. Like, this is a weird thing to me, and we talked about this a little bit before the show, where there's a little part of me that I wondered, like, what was the point in Canada? Because most, like, I know my bank app, I can use it for contactless payment. You can use your bank app for contactless payment. So this is I understand that this amalgamates multiple credit cards and things into one app, which is nice. But it's just kind of a weird thing where we got super excited about it, even though we sort of already had the capability to do this. So yeah, I added a credit card because one of my credit cards works with Android Pay in Canada. And I thought, cool. So I added my credit card. And then after I added my credit card, it says in order to confirm or authenticate that credit card, I have to now download the credit card app and log in. And I was like, well, that kind of defeats the whole purpose of using Android Pay. So I don't know. I'm kind of curious how this is going to go. Part of it is because up here in Canada, we have a thing called Interact, which is all of the banks are a member of, and it allows us to use debit cards without Visa or MasterCard attached. So that's a whole separate thing. And I know that this whole Android Pay has had some hurdles because of that type of stuff mixed in with a few other things. So I'm kind of curious to see how it'll go in Canada, if it will kind of take off or if it'll be one of those things that is novel, but I don't really ever use. So I guess time will tell.
Yeah.
But hey, I'm glad it's here. If nothing more than just dragging our asses into, using our phones and things as a payment thing, because who doesn't have their phone on them all the time?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it.
So, yeah. There you go.
Where are we now? I lost my place. I think we're done for free for all. We've got a couple questions.
Yeah.
So welcome to the question section. This first one goes to you.
To me?
Yeah. So Jude asks, when the F will Surface Pro pre-orders go live in Canada? And when will they get i7 or 7th gen i7 CPUs? Also, does the Division ever end? No, the Division never ends.
Yeah, the Division doesn't end.
The end game goes forever. Grind away. I don't know. I haven't played the Division in a while. They've added so much content. I've been dying to go back to that. This is that new games as a platform thing, right? They just keep adding and adding and iterating that. They want you to keep playing it forever, essentially.
Oh, absolutely.
But the Division was a great game. Shit. Goddamn, too many goddamn games. I really like the Division. There's so much cool shit they've done. I feel like I'm missing out.
I just want to point out to Jude, the Surface Pro pre-orders are live, so go pre-order till your heart's content.
So that must have gone live after we recorded?
I'm looking at the Microsoft Canada website. They are live now.
We talked about the new Surface, right? We talked about this?
We did.
Yeah.
We talked about the Surface laptop, which is an interesting thing. And then they released a Surface Pro.
Which is what you were telling me is like going after me and the guys with a MacBook Air, right?
I feel like that's more the Surface laptop, to be honest with you.
Okay, Surface laptop.
The Surface Pro is... I know. Because the problem is that they released the Surface Pro 4. That was their thing before, right? So now, instead of making this the Surface Pro 5, they're just calling it the Surface Pro, and you can get it in a multiple different iterations of it. You can get it with a Core M3, or you can get it with an i5 or an i7, with multiple different hard drive upgrades. But it is their tablet with the dock that clicks in with the touch, or the...
So what the hell is the Surface Book?
Well, the Surface Book is a different thing than the Surface laptop.
Jesus Christ. How confusing can this get?
Well, the Surface Book is an expensive piece of hardware that looks like a laptop, but you can actually hit a button and undock the tablet part of it and walk away with just the tablet part if you want. Whereas the Surface laptop is exactly what it says. It is just a laptop, and it doesn't change.
So it does
have a touch screen.
The new one then? The new one's the Surface Pro, and
this is the new Surface Pro,
and that's the lower end device, right? Compared to the laptop, compared to the laptop and the book.
To be honest, I feel like the book is the high end one.
Yeah,
I'll say that right now. Like the Surface Book is their most expensive model. I think it doesn't start till $1,500 or $1,400 or something like that. And you can, if you get the top of the line one, which also has an external video card inside the bottom half, which is the keyboard half, as well as an extra battery in there as well.
Expensive.
Oh yeah, they go up like $3,000-$4,000. They can get very expensive. The Surface Pro and the Surface Laptop, to be honest, they both are almost identical in price points to one another. The Surface Pro starts at around $1,000 Canadian, and it goes all the way up to $3,500 if you want to buy the 1 terabyte i7 with 16
The Surface
gigs
laptop
of RAM.
has a bigger screen than the Pro, though, eh? That's one.
Let's see.
Like
Does it even say how big the screen is on this bad boy? I think you're right, but I'm not. Oh, here we go. So yeah, it's got like an 11-inch screen on the Surface Pro, and I think the Surface laptop. I can't
12
even remember now. Yeah, so it's a little bit bigger screen on the laptop.
No, it's a 12-inch.
But if you buy the laptop,
on
then
the
you
Pro.
gotta...
I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah.
Under the specs.
But if you buy the laptop, it has Windows 10 S, which is their slimmed down version of the operating system. Or I shouldn't say slimmed down. It's not slimmed down.
And then the Pro has Windows 10 Pro. What?
You can get it, yes, with Windows 10 Pro.
Oh my god, this is like the most confusing thing in the world.
Actually, I lied. Yes, the Surface Pro comes with Windows 10 Pro. Yeah,
because
it is not.
The book's been out for a while, right? Compared to these other two.
Yes, the book has been out for the longest. I believe it came out, I want to say about a year ago.
So to answer,
my boss has one of the books.
To answer Jude's question, you can pre-order it now.
Yep.
But then I assume it's the old i7 CPUs, so we don't have an idea when they're going to use the new ones, right?
This is... Well, the Surface Pro has 7th gen Intel processors in them.
Oh, it does?
Yeah. The Surface Book, I don't know if they're going to be updating that or not.
I missed the part about the Surface Book.
They haven't essentially said anything yet.
It seems like the Surface Book might get phased out because it's so freaking expensive.
Nope.
No?
I do not believe that it will.
Oh.
It is definitely a different niche for it.
They're
If you're a CEO and you need to be able to take your tablet and have people sign documents and shit like that, and you want like an extra battery and you want an external GPU and all the rest of that, you can totally... But yeah, they get super expensive. I mean, the top of the line one is not even available in Canada. The $3,500 for the second.
I really like being able to freaking write on that screen. That's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, they're nice pieces of kit. Don't get me wrong. I have some issues with them from a support perspective. But if you're planning on buying one and using it as a laptop, and only as a laptop, then by all means, have at her.
Yeah, that looks...
If you plan on buying that,
awesome.
and you
I wish they were more affordable. Otherwise, I'd totally be all over this. I would love to have a device I could turn into a tablet and write on.
Well, see, I'm not going to lie. The Surface laptop does have a touch screen, and you could buy a pen and write on it if you want.
Yeah, I think they show the pen on the Pro as well, right?
Yeah, the Surface Pro comes with a pen. That's what it's really designed for. It's a tablet with the clip-on touch cover, as they call it, that you can buy. Yeah,
that looks pretty good.
So there you have it.
i7. $2,000.
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, you think that's bad? Go look at the Surface Studio.
Surface Studio looks freaking cool, though. Like, I hope...
Yeah, the Surface Studio is gorgeous as hell.
I'm pretty sure you figured out the answer to your question because you sent that after last week's show, but... Sorry, Jude. We thought we'd get to you this week. We didn't ignore you. You just sent it in a little too late. Dustin writes in, what do you guys think of Sportsnet signing exclusive Canadian rights to the new esports channel?
So that's the one that kind of ties in with one of our news stories. So Sportsnet in Canada strikes a deal with the ESL, which is the esports league.
Esports
league. One of the biggest. Yeah. Which is the world's largest esports league. And they signed with them to acquire the exclusive rights to the ESL's Esports TV, which is the first global 24/7 esports television channel that will be coming out to Canada beginning in July, I believe, as part of... What are they putting it on? Sorry, I'm just trying to glance over. I read this earlier, but I'm just trying to find where the actual thing was. It will air on Sportsnet 360 beginning in July. So it's launching this fall. It's going to be called Esports TV. Will be available exclusively in Canada on Sportsnet now. They will also be doing a weekly esports news highlight and analyst program, which will air on Sportsnet 360 beginning in July. They essentially came out and said esports is on the cusp of becoming a global phenomenon, and they are excited to bring it to Canadians. I honestly don't see this as a bad thing. I think that if somebody's willing to take a risk and they're willing to put themselves out there and buy the rights to this, and actually if they think that there's a big enough market where people are actually going to watch this on their TVs,
what it does,
I say very cool.
That is cool. The thing I don't see here, though, it doesn't say anywhere in here that this is exclusive only to Rogers customers, does it? I'm reading through this story and I didn't see that.
It doesn't.
But Sportsnet's available on other providers, and that's a Rogers property, so I'm going to guess this is probably going to be available on everyone else.
I'm not sure. I don't even know if this is going to be available out west or if this is going to be something that they're going to push out to their Ontario customers. I have no idea. They didn't say any of that. My big question I think I have is, take me, for example. I have a smart TV. I also have a Twitch app on that smart TV because
you have access to all those ESL programs already.
Pretty much.
Like, exactly. They're not going to stop casting on Twitch. So you don't have to go. That's the weird thing. It's like, esports is such a weird thing because it's been so popular for so long, but the people who like it are already used to the solution of streaming it on YouTube, Twitch, or through the ESL website or the Hearthstone tournament website or wherever they're going to watch the tournament. They're already streaming it online.
The Mixer website.
Yeah, like they're...
Well, and like I said, like I have, and I mean, mind you, maybe this is partly because I have an Android smart TV, but my TV runs Android, so I just go into the Android store and I download the Twitch app.
Yeah.
And now I just watch Twitch on my TV. And it's all the goodness of watching the ESL matches or any esports for that matter. I mean, every year I watch the Smite World Championships in January, and exactly, it's free. I don't pay anything, and it's on my TV. It's in high definition, 1080p. In my case, I don't know if that'll go up in the future.
Yeah,
and there you go.
I think it's cool,
but at the same time, yeah, like by all means, if you want to take a risk and you think that people are willing to go to a channel on TV and watch it,
I'm interested to see. It says in here that they're going to have like a weekly esports news, highlights, and like analysis program. So it'll be interesting to see the types of casters or broadcasters they use for that. If they're going to use people from ESL that are already established, or are they going to be using like their Sportsnet, like traditional sports broadcaster types that are interested in games? I would like to see what kind of programs a TV network makes for esports. That's what is a really interesting thing about this.
I agree,
because this is going to be big budget studios, big budget production, not Twitch. You know, there's huge budgets, don't get me wrong, in esports, but this is a different realm. So that'll be interesting to see. I imagine, because of obviously my employer, I'll probably get this channel if it's available to us. So we'll have to check back and report on that and what it's like. Yeah, I think it's cool. I don't really see any downsides. Now, if it's only available on Rogers, then I wouldn't be happy. But at the same time, that just kind of pisses off the people that are eventually going to watch this, because like Dane said, we already have access to it now. So going through the TV box is kind of weird, right?
Yeah. But like you said, if they create some interesting content around this and
that's what
the production value is good,
and or we get some exclusive Canadian events because of it. Who knows?
Yeah,
that'd be cool. Esports is fun. I don't watch it. I don't watch it on Twitch. I don't watch it anywhere, honestly. But watching it, and I think I've told the story on the podcast before. I think we were podcasting that first year when we watched the League of Legends regional qualifiers at PAX.
Yeah, I think that was that just before we started recording, maybe?
That might have been the PAX before we started recording, but if it wasn't, we've talking about it. That was a couple of years ago, because they've outgrown PAX, so they don't do any of the League of Legends stuff there anymore, which is unfortunate. But yeah,
it was actually really cool.
Yeah, we spent the whole last day watching matches, and it was cheering and yelling and totally getting into it, like watching a hockey game or a soccer game. It was awesome. It was a lot of fun, and there was tons of energy in there.
Oh, absolutely.
A little different because sports fans, there's rivalries, but the rivalries are different in esports. I don't think they're as confrontational. It's like they're their fans and your fans, but it's not. There's no jerseys or lines drawn in the sand. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that players move around so much in esports versus.
So it was a little different, in that there's no booing, or no team was the home team or the team that you're supposed to be cheering for. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, there was just more or less.
Everyone was just excited, big plays, and everything was exciting. Yeah, that was freaking.
And obviously, people had their favorites. Like, some of the more popular ones are obviously more popular, and more people are cheering for them, or they want them to win. But overall, it seemed like a whole bunch of people in a big room that all just wanted to watch really awesome League of Legends.
Yeah, that was fun. Esports is cool.
Yeah,
we'll have to get back to you on this one. Check this channel out. And as long as they aren't just locking it to Rogers, I don't think it's a bad thing. I agree. In there. And then our last question is from Brian. He's like, have you ever wanted a game that you're playing to end? I kind of was talking about this with Persona, but continued on because of your time or money investment. He's currently feeling this way after 200 hours of Skyrim. If I pay for a game, I feel obligated to complete 90% of my games.
I wish I was a little bit more like you, because I'm kind of the opposite. Currently, I think I complete maybe 10% of my games.
Yeah.
But that being said, there's definitely been a few games that I know I've realized that I'm not a big fan of, but I have more or less beat out of spite.
Mm-hmm. When I wasn't married, and definitely before the baby, I probably had a 90% completion rate, if not maybe even 100%. I used to play a game. If I got a game, I played it till I beat it, and I didn't play anything else, good or bad. But then, as time got less in the last decade, I've kind of gotten to the point where if it feels like a chore, then I just don't care. It's like, yeah, I spent money on it, but my time is more valuable than the 60 to $90 I dropped on the game to waste playing a game out of spite, as opposed to playing something I actually want to be playing. So that's why I'm buying less. Well, I buy lots, but I'm buying like Injustice 2. I really want it. Tekken 7. I know I really want it, but I don't have time to play it. So I'm not buying it. I'll buy it when it's on sale or cheaper, and then I won't feel that regret whether I end up playing the shit out of it or don't. You know, we've all got games on our pile of shame that we've bought and barely touched. You know, or you play some,
or haven't touched it.
Yeah,
all,
or
and they're still in the package.
Or you buy Zelda and it pulls you away from Horizon, and or vice versa. Or right now I'm playing stupid Persona 5, and I think I was making fun of it last week. The amount of time I've invested in that game, I could have beaten probably 4 or 5 other games by now.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I played the shit. I think I put 200, 300 hours in Skyrim, because that game was so freaking good. I do not feel obligated anymore. I used to. I had that problem, and I just realized there's not enough hours in the day, and especially if something feels like a chore. If I'm not having fun, I'm just move on. There's
Yeah.
Fair
enough.
And/or just try and resist the hype train. I know it's hard for me and Dane because we record a podcast, we go to events, we're pretty retardedly, sorry, bad word, I apologize for using that. We're pretty ridiculous, hardcore gamers. So we're always wanting to be bleeding edge and in the conversation on stuff and always feel bad about not buying stuff. But at the same time, I'm just like, I know.
Not even, not even bad. I find what I run into is just because we record a podcast, when I get hung up on something for almost too long, for example, I feel like I need to play different and new things so that I have different and new things to talk about on the show.
That's what.
Because if every week I came back and I said, "Hey guys, I'm playing Smite again this week," and I'm playing Smite again this week, and that was the only thing I played for 6 months at a time, this would be a pretty boring podcast.
That's what the news is for, and the free for all, and the questions.
Yeah, and like I said, it's not like that I necessarily feel the absolute required that I need to do anything, but there's a little bit more of a pull for me there where I feel at least a little bit obligated to at least check out what is new and what is happening to stay current. Like right now, I won't lie, I'm like super on the fence about there is 2 VR games that I really want to pick up. And
Farpoint,
partly because I think they're great.
Star Trek Bridge Crew.
Oh, totally. Absolutely. Both of those I want to pick up. I've heard really good things about both of them. They both look super cool. But at the same time, I'm worried. I mean, I have a ton of stuff that I'm currently not already playing. Do I really need to add more things? But at the same time, I haven't played anything in VR in a while. So, I mean, it's always the struggle. And I think that you got to look at what you're playing and think to yourself, hey, is this important? Is this not important? And like Rick said, time, man. When I was younger and single, time wasn't nearly as big a deal as it is now.
I would sludge through something that I didn't like because I wanted to get that 1,000 achievement score or platinum trophy, which I don't have a lot of those because stupid EP points. It's like, I had when achievements were new, when the 360 came out, I had a very bad, I had a lot of anxiety because of that. But I eventually got over it because they mean nothing. Nothing to no one. You don't get any special access or respect for wasting your time. You play a game for the experience, the story, the gameplay. All that other crap is just stupid diversions. But don't trudge through stuff if you don't have to.
Yeah, man.
But at the same time,
said, like if you're close to the end and you feel like, oh man, I'm right there.
Yeah, and that's a different story.
And you just sometimes you just got to push through it. But I mean, in your case of Skyrim, if you feel like you're only playing it because you feel obligated because you haven't 100% done and seen everything, just uninstall it and move on, man. There's so many other great games out there.
I wish I had the self-control to play one game from start to finish and then another
another.
That's the one thing I wish I could do.
See, there's a little part of me that is almost forcing myself to do that right now with my Switch. I own one game for my Switch currently, and that is Zelda. And I have specifically gone out of my way not to buy another game, and a large part of that is just to make myself finish Zelda.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I know that another game will come out, I'll install it, or I'll play it.
And then you won't play Zelda.
And then I won't play Zelda, and then I won't play Horizon, and then I'll get sucked into
Horizon's so freaking good.
And that's what happens. And so sometimes you got to put that line in the sand. And then other times, though, like for me, I played the first Star Wars. Oh, what the hell was it called? The one where you were the apprentice. It came out on PS3 and Xbox 360.
Oh, Unleashed?
Yes. The Force Unleashed.
Yeah.
I played that first game. The game started off really interesting, and then I felt like the level design and a few other things in that game were total crap. But I trudged through, and I finished that stupid game. And by the time I finished it, I don't think I enjoyed it. I felt like I finished that game out of spite. I was like, it's a fucking Star Wars game. I have started it. I've gotten this far. I'm going to freaking finish it. I think that we've all sort of felt that way. But you know what? I skipped the second one. So and that was how I got around that.
I like that game. I didn't find it that bad.
There was just a few things that really got on my nerves with it for some reason.
I hope that answers your question, Brian. So I think that's it, my friend. Episode 109 is stored in the magnetic platters of my hard drive and will be in everyone's ear holes in a few hours. So Thanks for listening, everybody. You can follow me on Twitter at RickF, RICF.
And as always, you can come bug me on Twitter at Dane Cody, at DAYNECODY.
Make sure to like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Forget about that one. It's Geekoholics at all of the above. And of course, review us on any podcasting services available, iTunes, and or other platforms as well. Helps us get new and more listeners. And of course, again, thank you very much for listening. Until next week, we are out.
Catch you guys later.
Peace.